This is part 5 of the chapter Human Eye and the Colorful World, Standard 10th. Today we will be discussing about the optical phenomenon in nature. So what do you mean by optical phenomenon? Optical phenomenon means it is a natural event which occurs due to the interaction of light when it passes through atmosphere, air, water droplets, dust, smoke, all these things. It creates different effects, and those effects are called optical phenomena. Now the most important ones or the most easy common ones are: first is dispersion of light, second is atmospheric refraction, and the third is scattering of light. Dispersion of light, as we have already studied in that prism part, dispersion of light means when white light is passed through a prism, or in fact it is passed through water droplets, we see that the light, it splits into its constituent colors called VIBGYOR. We have studied this: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. So in this we will be seeing that the red color, which has a maximum wavelength, will bend the least, whereas the blue violet color, which has the shortest wavelength, will bend the most. So scattering is most in violet color, whereas the least in red color. So this is a effect of dispersion of sunlight by tiny droplets. Now one of the most important phenomenon of dispersion of light is a rainbow. So what is a rainbow? We have all seen rainbows in our childhood whenever rainy season stops. So it is a natural optical spectrum. Why we call optical spectrum? Because it changes. We can see a range of colors in the sky in the form of bows appearing in the sky when the sun shines on the raindrops. So three things happen here. The three things which happen here is refraction, reflection, and again refraction. So what exactly happens is that what we are going to see. So before this, we'll just see how a rainbow looks. This is how a rainbow looks, very beautiful. It is called bow because it is a semicircle, it's a bow. And what exactly happens? So we can see here the white light from the sun, it will come and strike the surface of a raindrop. Now this is a raindrop, droplets of water. So when it strikes, it goes inside. Now at this point you can see there is a refraction taking place at this surface. This is the refraction taking place. At the same time, it refracts and it passes straight to the other end. This is the other surface. Now at the other surface you see there is total internal reflection of the spectrum. Spectrum means the band of colors which we have studied. So when it reaches the inner surface on the other side, there is total internal reflection. Everything which is gone there is reflected black. Now when it reflects back, the light again travels here in this fashion and it comes again to the edge of the water droplet. Now this is the water droplet and this is the air. Again it comes to an interface of water and air, and again if you see, refraction occurs and the colors which we see are these colors. So this is the observer, so he will feel all these colors. So red and violet, as we can see, red is refracted or it is bending the least, whereas violet, which has a low very short wavelength, it deviates the most. So if you can see, this is a three phenomenon taking together. First is the first refraction which takes place when the raindrop when the sunlight enters the raindrop. Second is internal reflection, and the third is again at the boundary of this, again refraction takes place. So this is how a rainbow takes place. So this is also shown in this simple diagram. So this is a sunlight coming here, first refraction takes place, then there is total internal reflection. When it comes again, it is scattered. So this is what forms a rainbow. So there are two important conditions for the formation of a rainbow. First is the presence of water droplets in the atmosphere, because still water droplets are there, the sun rays cannot be split or refracted. Second is the position of the sun should be at the back of the observer. If a person is standing from behind, the sun rays should fall. Only then we can see a rainbow. So this is about rainbow. So the second one is called atmospheric refraction. Now what happens? The atmosphere is made up of air. Air has particles, but they are not of the same density. As we know, the air which is nearer to the earth's surface is dense, but as we go up it becomes lighter and lighter. So the density is not the same. So what happens, whenever light is coming from the atmosphere, especially from different stars, it passes through layers of air which have different densities. Obviously, when the densities are different, refraction takes place differently because of the optical densities. The speed changes differently and the bending is also done differently. It means there is no uniform refraction. Refraction is haphazard. Now this is called atmospheric refraction, and this results in some phenomenon known as twinkling of stars. We feel twinkling of stars, advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So what do you mean by twinkling of stars? Twinkling of stars means stars are many light years away, as we know, and since it consists of different densities, when light travels to different things, every density or every layer it refracts continuously. So the light which passes through the stars, it bends towards the normal. So sometimes we see a change in position. The change in position is every time due to the change in refraction and the change in density. So since the position is, this is called the apparent position. Apparent position is the position which seems, it's an illusion, it's not true. So every second we see that the images are changing, apparent position. So this creates a twinkling effect, and we feel that the stars are twinkling. The stars are not twinkling, it is only a effect of the variation of the sunlight. So we can see this here. So this is one just good example. Now twinkling of stars, as I told you, this is just an example, medium 1, medium 2 and medium 3. This is the light from the stars. Remember, they are from very long distance, is light years away. 1 light year means the amount of distance or the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Remember, the speed of light is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second, means 3 lakh kilometers per second into minutes, into hours, into days. So into 365 days. So that is the amount of that is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. So light, these stars are very fine, very far away. So they send beams of lights. Now when this beam comes, if you can see, it is coming here, getting here, everywhere it is refracting. So it is not a straight line at all. So when the observer sees, he sees this position, he sees this position, he sees this position, different positions he will be seeing. So as he keeps on seeing different position, he feels that the stars are twinkling. Now the question comes, why planets do not twinkle? Now planets means what? They are very near to the, so that is a question often asked. So planets are at a very near distance as compared to the stars. Stars are millions and millions of kilometers away. Planets are not that far off, and planets are then closer to us and they appear huge, and the light does not appear as one fine beam, it will appear as to coming from more than one point. So because of this broad spectrum, we feel that the planets do not twinkle. There is one more effect of refraction which is called advanced sunrise. So what is the meaning of advanced sunrise? So the sun appears to rise early by 2 minutes before the actual sunrise. Why? Below the horizon the sun is there, but due to refraction the apparent image of the sun at sunrise is visible to us before 2 minutes before the sun comes up the horizon. Now this is also one of the So this is what is called atmospheric. So this is the actual position of the sun, this is the sunlight, this is the horizon. If the person is standing here, what happens is this is the actual position of sun, but because this is refraction takes place, we can see this is the apparent position of the sun, whereas this is the actual position of the sun. Apparent means which is illusion, it is not true, we feel that. So that is what exactly happens when sun 2 minutes before we can see. Now the same logic can be applied when we can see the sun 2 minutes after sunset. Now this is also because of the same reason, atmospheric refraction. So it is visible 2 minutes after the actual sunset, because what happens is during sunset the air is hot and the light rays, they bend towards the surface, towards the people, and we can see its image even though the sun is actually below them. So because of these two atmospheric refractions, we always have an advanced sunrise where we can see sunrise 2 minutes before the actual one, and we can see a delayed sunset, means 2 minutes even after the sun has actually set, we still feel that the sun is above the horizon. Then one more is the flattening. This is flattening of the sun's disk. Now the rays above, the sun rays above and below, they are refracted at different degrees. Due to this, we feel that the sun's disk is flattened. Now this is also an apparent position, and apparent, it is just an illusion. This is because of atmospheric refraction. So this is what we had seen. So both things are shown at one place. This is the sunset, this is the sunrise, this is the actual position, and this is the apparent position 2 minutes. Even at the sunset, the sun has already gone down, but because of refraction, we still feel the sun is up. The third phenomenon is called scattering of light. Now scattering of light means when light strikes surfaces or atmosphere where there are particles, dust particles, colloids, water droplets, it gets refracted from there. So smoke, tiny water droplets, suspended particles of dust and molecules, all are there in the Earth's atmosphere. So this will cause the light to scatter. Now this scattering of light is a phenomenon called, so there are 2 or 3 important ones. First is called the Tyndall effect. Now why the scattering occur is because of this. Very large particles, they scatter the sunlight and they appear white, and large size particles, they scatter the sunlight of longer wavelength. The longer wavelength mainly blue color. So we will see 2 or 3 phenomena which are associated with scattering of light. One is the Tyndall effect. So Tyndall effect is what? It is the phenomenon of scattering of white light by particles in a colloid or a fine suspension. Now in nature what happens is blue light is strongly scattered than red light because of the Tyndall effect, that we already know. What happens is when a fine beam of light enters a room, a dark room, we can see the sunbeam. Now this is contained because of dust and the fine particles which are present in atmosphere. This happens due to the scattering of lights, as we can see here. So if we see here, this is a window, inside is a dark room. So the moment light comes in, we see this is a fine dispersion of light. Now this is called the Tyndall effect. It's a natural phenomenon. The second one is when we are entering a deep forest. So there is a canopy. Canopy means the top part is covered with all trees and all that. Now when sun passes through it, there is mist around this. Now this mist will act as colloid particles, and what do? They will scatter the sunlight, and we will get a very nice effect which is shows in movies and all that. So this is how, if we can see, sun is there somewhere here, and we can see the effect of like this. So this is also called as Tyndall effect. Now the next one, the blue color of sky. Why is the color of the sky blue? Remember, when the color of the sky is blue, water is also shown as blue, and that's why we are called the blue planet. So blue has a shorter wavelength and it scatters the most. So blue color is scattered most by among all the others. So when blue color is scattered most, the sky appears blue. It's very simple. Now, why is the sun looking reddish at sunset or sunrise? So during sunset and sunrise, the rays, they have to travel a larger part of the atmosphere, because the sun is just not above the equator, it is in the side near the horizon. So what happens in that case? All the others are scattered away, because a red light has a long or a greater short wavelength. It will travel the most, and only the red color is visible to us. That is why we say the sun looks reddish when it is sunlight or a sunset or sunrise. The same logic can be applied to signals. So if we see, always danger signals are red in colors. Any signals, any airport, any traffic signals, everywhere if you see danger means red. Why is it like that? So the wavelength of red light, red color we know is longer than among the other colors. So what happens? It is the least scattered. Least scattered means when it passes through different layers of atmosphere, even in thick fog and all that, it travels the maximum distance and it reaches the observers a large distance away. Due to this, we always use red light as a danger signal, because it can be visible by the people very far away. Now the last effect is called the white color of clouds. So why do clouds, if you see clouds, they are white in color, they look very beautiful. Blue is the sky and white is the clouds. Now this is because of another phenomenon. It's simply scattering of light. So what happens is, there are large particles like raindrops. What are there in the clouds? Raindrops, dust, ice particles present in the atmosphere. They all scatter the light equally. So when they scatter equally, what do we get? We get a white light. So hence the clouds which have water droplets scatter all the colors equally, which will give to the appearance of white colored clouds. So this is exactly is explained here. So it is scattering, if you see this, it is scattering light. So everywhere it is scattering light, so it is white light. So white light is scattered because they are being scattered equally. So this is the reason why clouds appear white. Now in the last, we have just taken a table. This is a summary of all this. The name of the defect is myopia, nearsightedness, reason is elongation of eyeball, excessive curvature, and the remedy of is use of concave lens. Hypometropia we know is farsightedness. This is due to longer focal length of the eye lens, shortening of the eyeball. The use is convex lens, the correction. Presbyopia, decrease in the power of accommodation due to weakening of ciliary muscles, aging, all these things are responsible for this. And the use of light having bifocal lens, both convex and concave. Then comes cataract. So in cataract we know milkiness or clouding of the eye lenses. This is because of aging and partial or complete. So what is this thing is surgery. Then a few most important natural phenomena, multicolored light coming off a triangular slab or a prism is called dispersion of light. Next we saw rainbow, which is a natural optical phenomenon. The dispersion of light and total internal reflection, as we have seen in the case of this thing. Next is twinkling of stars, advanced sunrise, delayed sunset, flattening of disk of the sun as sunrise and sunset. These are all the effects of atmospheric refraction of light. Then comes the last part, blue color of the sky, as we have just seen, reddening of the sun as sunrise and sunset, and the important Tyndall effect. They are all because of the scattering of light. So this was a lesson on the human eye and the colorful world. Thank you.